Syria's transitional Prime Minister Mohammed al-Bashir has pledged to prioritize the repatriation of millions of refugees, focusing on stability and collaboration with former regime officials to restore public services. Meanwhile, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, led by Ahmed al-Sharaa, has seized control of Manbij and Deir az-Zor, following the withdrawal of Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces. Al-Sharaa has promised to rebuild the war-torn nation. In a symbolic act, opposition fighters set ablaze the tomb of former Syrian President Hafez al-Assad in Kandahar, rejecting the Assad regime's legacy. On the international front, Russia condemned Israeli airstrikes, accusing them of violating the 1974 Yom Kippur ceasefire and destabilizing the region. The strikes have destroyed critical military assets, targeting naval vessels, anti-aircraft systems, and weapons facilities in 13 provinces, including Deir az-Zor and Tartus. Israel claims the operations aim to establish a defense zone in southern Syria, as reported by the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. On Wednesday, Israeli airstrikes across Gaza killed at least 38 Palestinians, with the majority of deaths occurring in Beit Lahia, where 22 people, including women and children, died in an airstrike on a multi-story house. More than 30 people were living in the building before the attack, and several family members remain missing. Among those killed, journalist Ayman al-Shanti and her family died in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza City. Al-Shanti's death marks the 193rd journalist killed since the conflict began. The Israeli military reported killing 2 senior Hamas commanders in separate airstrikes. Meanwhile, the UN Relief Agency warned that health facilities across Gaza are overwhelmed due to ongoing attacks, leaving thousands without medical care. UNICEF also highlighted the plight of 2,500 critically ill children in Gaza, with a forecasted 7-year wait for their evacuation. Meanwhile, the Indonesian hospital in northern Gaza is facing a severe lack of food and water, with 60 patients at risk of death. Moreover, an Israeli delegation, including top security and military officials, is in Cairo for talks on a potential ceasefire and a prisoner exchange. The PTI has renewed its call for an investigation into the alleged deaths of its supporters during last month's Islamabad protest. MNA barrister Gohar Ali Khan demanded answers from the government, while opposition leader Omar Ayub accused PM Shehbaz Sharif of ordering lethal force against peaceful protesters. PTI claims 12 supporters died, although Gohar distanced the party from exaggerated casualty numbers. The government rejected accusations, but PTI warned of more protests if justice is not served. In other news, the Supreme Court has raised concerns over the ambiguity of the law that permits phone tapping. Justice Syrian Mandokhail questioned the clarity of the law, following a case concerning the ISI's interception of calls. On the cricket front, negotiations for next year's Champions Trophy remain stalled. India insists on a hybrid model, where it would play matches outside Pakistan due to security concerns. While Pakistan has agreed, the Board of Control for Cricket in India has raised objections, particularly about the final location. Talks continue with no official schedule announced yet.